We just got home from our trip and it's nice and dark, and I'm gonna go check out the garden in the dark, but we got to get greeted with our quail. Let's see if they'll hear you greet them. There we go. Can you hear them? I don't know if they're loud enough, but it was a sweet sound to open the door to. Look at all our pretty little eggs that got laid while we were gone. See, is that 2 layers deep? Yep, 2 layers deep. Ain't it pretty? So we left on a Wednesday and today is Monday. We got home last night and the ducks had got huge. I'll throw up another video right before we left so you can see the difference. But they've also changed in personality.
Mama!
Hold on. So I opened the door and we just came back and sat. And it has been, they won't dare come out of that door and they're super scared of us and run to the back. And just in them few days, they actually walked over here starting to look at us, getting curious. Micah went walking over there to the garden and they started following him. Almost all of them have come out. There's a few, maybe 5 left in the coop. So most of them have come out. I don't know about our hurt duck. It might be one of those that's still in the coop. I hadn't got to pinpoint, and it may be hard if it's walking good now to pinpoint which one it is. But they have starting to turn white. So they got some feather stuff trying to go on, and you can still see the biggest ones. That one right there he's got kind of a blue bill. Don't do that with that stick, you'll scare him. But he's still much bigger than the rest of them. But anyway, they've got huge, and I'm happy to see that they're not as skittish of us before, because before, if I even started talking, they would take off running to the back of the coop. So this is good to me, because, well, actually there's more than just 5 in there, but most of them have come out.
There's 8 in there.
There's 8 in there? Okay. But anyway, we've raised ducks before, and we didn't have this many, and they bonded to us, and they would follow us like we were the mommy, and walk, single file behind us. And so I didn't like that these are so skittish. So that makes me happy that they're changing in that. So maybe it's an age thing.
That's the big one. See that one that just dropped out of the water?
I see the big one. He's over there drinking out of the water. Right.
And it's just swimming, actually.
Right there. Yeah, he's got a blue bill. That's weird. He's the only one with a blue bill. It makes me
purple.
A purpley blue bill. It makes me wonder if something's different about him.
He might be a different time.
He might be, but peckings are supposed to be the biggest. There is one called a jumbo pecking, and maybe he's a jumbo pecking. I don't know. The kids just pointed out that we have 31 ducks that got sent to us. We ordered 30, so they sent us an extra one, and we have not lost not one duck. And so that's better than all the chickens that we did. We lost at least some. Actually, our first batch of chickens this year, we lost a lot. And even on our hatched quail, we lost 1, which we thought that was great compared to when we got the day-old chicks. So we were happy we only lost 1 of the ones that we hatched. But so we're really happy with the ducks now because we haven't lost any. So I was turning on the video to say that they were doing a lot better. And an airplane went over. You can probably hear it, and that shot them all in there. So I was about to show you how much better they were doing on all of their skittishness, and now they're all hiding. But what happened was Aaliyah brought up the kiddie pool, and they didn't dart away and actually came to check it out. And so I was like, hey, let's show how much better they're doing. Haha. Now they're all in there, or somewhere in the back. But it is good. They're scared of overhead things, so that'll keep them safer. So I came out last night with a headlamp on and a flashlight, wanting to see what's going on, and I've got zinnias up all over the place. I've got some, I think it's asters that were planted here coming up. They're not quite everywhere, but there's several of them coming up. And so all the zinnias, they are just, I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but they're all coming up really, really nice. You can tell the lettuce has definitely grown. Over there you can see the lettuce and the carrots are growing. Well, I say that. The kids have already been out here eating a ton of stuff. So this was something I was excited about. This is, I don't know where I'm pointing. Right there. Straw flowers are coming up. I've wanted to grow straw flowers. I grew them one time before, and they got about the size when they were just about to bloom, and Michael thought they were weeds and he pulled them all up. So I'm excited to see those coming up. Oh, Joe, get out of the garden. Oh dear. And I say that, and then my child comes and knocks bark all over my straw flowers. Okay. And I don't know if you'll be able to see with my shadow. Let's see. Right here, we got dill coming up all over. So that was all the way down on the back. Well, half of the fence is the straw flowers and half of it's dill. So we have dill everywhere. So I was going to go check on the beans to see if any of the beans came up. Flip you around. See if any of the beans came up before we left. The cowpeas had sprouted, but the beans had not. And so I figured, hey, they ought to be up by now. So I come walking in here, and I just took a little look around to see what was going up. So here's Grandma and Papa's squash. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Do not, get out of there. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but little squashies are coming up.
Mama?
You better not step on Papa's squash. He'll get you. And then I knew that they had planted beans in their bed, and I was like, oh, I don't see anything. All right, go back to Soraya. And I was thinking, well, maybe it was this bed. And I didn't see any beans coming up, and I was like, what in the world? Maybe they're just starting, and I got my headlamp on, or so maybe it's not time yet. I was like, but I know we had cowpeas up, so they ought to be here. So here's where my cowpeas were. And they were up nice. And there is not a single one. And I was like, what in the world? And I got down, I'm looking, I'm trying to find a stem or something, and the only thing I can find is this one, I don't know if you can see, this one single stem. Well, I just broke it. This one single stem that was there. Sorry, we had a little bit of an emergency come up. So I'm looking, and I didn't see any leaves. I just saw little stems sticking up, and that's it. I'm like, what in the world? So I was all disappointed.
I told you it was you, see?
Yep, hold on. So I was all disappointed, and I just happened with my little headlamp to look over, and I went, and in the dark with the light hitting it, I was like, oh, whoa! So the bush beans, the Blue Lake bush, they came up really good while we were gone. And it's weird because that's what Grandma and Papa planted in both of these beds for them, and there's nothing there, and so that's weird. We don't know what happened.
And Mama, they planted the same day you planted.
Yeah, they planted the same kind. Now
and
this little...
And the same day.
Yeah, and the same day. So this little batch here is lima beans, and they are, there are some coming up. Their leaves are super... Actually, this one, what in the world? Oh, so there's a stem, and it's like cut almost.
Maybe a plant, maybe an animal ate it.
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe a
well, that's frustrating.
rabbit.
So I don't even know if all these lima beans came up and something ate it or broke it or not. There's one over there that just came up, and this one, I don't want to break them. Don't touch them. So that's frustrating. I don't know what happened.
Hey, this looks like an avocado inside.
It does kind of look like an avocado inside, doesn't it?
And look, that one, it has a little brown piece, and it looks like half of an avocado.
Yeah, it does kind of look like
no, that one, it looks like avocado seed.
Oh,
see that little brown thing?
Yeah,
it looks like half of an avocado seed.
You're right. So this other half of the bed is Soraya's strawberries, and little by little we've come out here and counted them, and they've like disappeared, and so we don't know what has happened. Soraya told me today she didn't see any, so I was going to look at them real quick, but we don't know if they got watered too late and the heat got them, or if something ate them, or if the mulch, when they were watering, washed over them and covered them. We don't know what happened, but she's pretty disappointed about that, so I'm hoping that there's still at least some in here. Oh, it's so sad. So right there is a strawberry. I don't know if I'm looking at it good. And right here, there's my finger. Right there is a strawberry. So in Soraya's 30 holes, I only see 3 strawberries. And she did have 20 something, so that's sad. Okay, so I gently brushed back some of the mulch, and I uncovered one strawberry here, and there was another one somewhere else I uncovered, and they're super tiny, and it's super easy, when watering, if a piece of bark like this big ended up on top of this, it would just cover it up and smash it. And I'm thinking that's probably what happened. We had several times where Soraya wasn't able to water, and so she's thinking that maybe the water was too hard when somebody else did it. I wanted to show you the other one because it was super tiny. I don't remember what hole it was in, but anyway, so she's thinking that that's maybe when Aaliyah did it or something, that she didn't have the water as soft as it needed to be. But anyway, so maybe that's most likely what happened, is that the bark got smushed over with the running water and either covered them up so they didn't get sun and died, or actually just crushed them because they're super tiny. They're super tiny seedlings. Where was the other one? Because it was so small, I actually barely even noticed it when I can't find, oh, let's see, right here. All right, where's my finger in the screen? I'm having a hard time with the sun. Right there, if I'm looking, there is a little one. And so I went ahead, even though I'm not seeing them, I went ahead and brushed gently all the mulch off of their spots. So hopefully, if they've been hurt, or even if maybe a little bit still covering them, they'll be able to reach some sunlight and come on up. Also notice on some of these beans, let me see right here, something nipped some of them, but they didn't care for them as much as they did the cowpeas apparently. And so I don't know what got them. Papa's rooster started crowing the other day, and a few days before that we had seen some roosters chasing some of our hens. And so I told Michael maybe we'll start having eggs. I think he said they were 13 weeks and maturity is 20 weeks, and he thought it was too early, but with the rooster crowing, hopefully in a couple weeks we'll have some eggs. So I don't really have any peas to show you. I wanted to show you because the peas, they look so nice, and they were covered yesterday when we got home in the dark. I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's a little pea right there, but the kids have been out here this morning eating their breakfast, and that included peas. So they've got a lot. We've got tons and tons of flowers coming up. I interplanted flowers everywhere. You can see the strawberries doing nice. The radishes are going, they actually started blooming. I don't know if you can see the blooms. Let's see. Anyway, they're blooming. So we're going to end up getting those out. So here are our onions from seed that we planted. I'm going to show you that. And then here is Micah's onion. I don't know if this is in focus or not, but here's Micah's onions from the green onions from the store that we used, and we just took the tips and replanted them. So they're doing really good. And we've got flowers coming up. I plant them all over the place, and they're mixing with everything that's already here, so they're all coming up really nice. So the radishes did the exact same thing. They came up nice, they looked lovely, and then they turned yellow, and that's not from the cold, because before we thought maybe the cold just nipped them, and so it appears it is a nutrient issue, and since we've been gone, they haven't been fertilized. They need to be fertilized. But anyway, so that's frustrating, but that's what we're having. A lot of things are turning yellow after they sprout, and that's like once the roots get a little deeper and they can take in more nutrients, they start getting green again. That's what the peas all did. The lettuce didn't ever turn green, but a lot of the other greens, not green, they never turned yellow. A lot of the other greens did. We, when I got back, I did notice we still had some cabbage worms. Some of this is old damage, but last night I did see some actual worms on some of this. So hopefully Michael went to where he left the neem oil today, so hopefully he'll remember to bring that back, and we can get that on here and get those took care of. So we planted, I think these were squash. Mikey, you have to go away from me with that lemon. And then we did watermelons on that row, and then the back row we did pumpkins, and in every one of them we put a corn, one on this side and one on that side. They also put nasturtiums. They haven't come up yet, and we'll also, this is the time for planting roots, so I'm going to come in and put a few radishes here because they're supposed to help prevent squash vine borers. So hopefully that will come out. So there's some, these were planted just a few days earlier than those. It was the same week. And see how nice and big them squash are. And look at that corn, it makes me happy. And then here is our potatoes. They are doing good. I can't believe how they've shot up. I don't know if you can see in the screen. Almost all of them are through, so we're supposed to have 3. Almost all have 3 across, so I'm really excited about that, especially for how small the eyes were when we planted them. And then we have Rampicante. They are massive when they sprout. They're really, really big. We got the mustards back there. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but over there's coxcomb, this whole section here. Sarai planted a whole lot. She dumped a lot of seeds in there. Good thing you can eat the leaves of a coxcomb like spinach. So over there we put in more zinnias. That'll be real pretty. You can see all these Rampicantes coming in. They're doing good. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see, maybe I can get you there. So we planted chamomile, the whole rest of the trellis. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's tiny green coming up for that. Over here we got loofah gourds. I'm excited about that because they normally take a really long time to sprout. So we don't have all of them up, but several of them are up. So I'm excited for that. They have finally come to the pool and they're liking it. Let's see if they'll let me get a little bit past them. I don't want to go over there to them and scare them. But let's see how they do. Normally this far they'd already be alert and trying to run away. I could go see if they'll let me sit in that seat right there. Might scare them. I'm just gonna sit down, buddies. Yep, scaring them a little. Okay, okay. Okay. Just scared some around, so they're letting me be here, so I'm glad with that. So we cannot find the hurt duck. He was the smallest duckling, and there's 2, 3 or so that are a little smaller. One of them, let's see if I can line up my finger, getting to the gravel right there is smaller, but we cannot tell a difference anymore between any of the other ducks, and there's, like I said, 2 or 3 that are a little smaller, and we can't pick which one's that one that was hurt. And so apparently using the Band-Aids and using the water therapy worked to fix its legs and get it walking normal and doing good. So that's another thing I'm happy about.
And look, there's 2 in the pool.
Yep, there's 2 in the pool. And
a minute ago, one of them put its head under the water.
Yeah, they were trying to swim in it, weren't they?
Yeah. They're swimming in it right now.
The one over there is standing, but this other one's floating. There we go. You let us see you swim, buddy. They're so funny. I like ducks.
Yeah, me too. They're really cute, aren't they?
They are really cute. Oh, I think you got a little too close, Micah.
I was wanting to pet that one.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready for getting petted yet.
Yeah, I think they're too wild. Should I finish cleaning out the duck's pen?
Yeah, you've been working on their pen, haven't you? He's been scooping new mulch and putting it in there to get it dry again because their water thing wasn't quite right, so it was leaking out, and so they, while we were gone, they ended up putting the bucket of water in there, and so they made a massive wet mess in there, so Micah's getting that took care of. He's my big helper.